not doing it when you're doing it? One of the things I wanted to say that I really enjoyed in 2018 was Prime Video really stepping up to the plate.
Yeah.
So, like, Netflix's thing has really been, they're kind of like, cornering the market on producing their own material.
Yeah.
And for the most part, there's been some good stuff, there's been some mixed stuff. Some stuff I have enjoyed that Netflix have kind of put out as Netflix own was Cam, which is like a horror film. Really good setup, doesn't quite pay off, but well worth a check out. Other Netflix originals, Indonesian one by Timo, I want to say Yanto. I don't know how to pronounce it. The Night Comes For Us.
Ooh. So
Indonesian gangster film, a lot of the same cast from The Raid, different roles obviously, well worth checking out, beautifully shot, like the cinematography on that.
Magnifique.
Framing and just colour are beautiful, lovely use of shadow. He also had another film out which was released a couple months before that called May the Devil Take You, Indonesian Evil Dead. Good fun, good fun. I wouldn't say as strong as The Night Comes For Us, but well worth checking out still.
Yeah.
So Netflix, they've kind of put out some solid, I'd give it like 3 out of 5 kind of films. Like, you watch it, you enjoy it, may rewatch some of the better ones.
Popcorn movies.
Yeah. Prime Video though, they are like the car boot sale of stuff. They like pick up like their Namsploitation, so the Italian rip-offs of Rambo and Rambo 2 and all that. Second to none, man. The collection is amazing. Giallo, spaghetti western, Japanese stuff on there as well. Loads of like Hong Kong, Chinese horror.
There's a lot of choice. There's a lot. I really wish they would sort their kind of their like interface. They maybe put in more like specific categories. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Like I think if they are going to go down that road.
Oh, I never use the categories. What I use is like I'll look for like I'll just kind of browse through, and if there's one film that looks kind of interesting, like Ghoulies, the original 80s Ghoulies were there. So I clicked on that, and then it goes
suggested.
The other viewers watch this, and then I go down that rabbit hole. But yeah, Prime Video, absolutely smashing it. The quality can be questionable. A lot of it looks like VHS rips and stuff like that. But some fantastic stuff out there, and a lot of it is kind of I do try before you buy. So like I'll check it out. And then if it's a film that I've enjoyed and I see there's a really good Blu-ray release with a like cleaned up copy and with amazing extras, then I will invest in that then as well. On Prime Video there's Mausoleum, 80s horror supernatural kind of thing, so weird, so good. And I think it's Vinegar Syndrome have put out a really nice Blu-ray of it, so I will be investing in that.
Nice.
But so Prime Video, thank you, Prime Video. Anyway, so some of the films I enjoyed, I think the only crossover we had was Avengers Infinity War. Avengers Infinity War. Okay, should I say it now?
I forgot about that one.
You forgot about that one. That one. This is my favourite one, so we'll start with my favourite one. I won't put them in order otherwise. Lose.
Oh, I forgot that one.
Yes. We talked about Lose previously. Fantastic film we checked out at Fractured Visions. For me, the highlight of the festival and the highlight of my filmic year. Kind of pretentious, beautiful looking horror film. Jump back to episode 62, I think.
Yeah, I think we waxed lyrical over it, but just
like 5 minutes.
It looked just brilliant.
Beautiful look, shot on
Proper
16mm. Yeah. So well done. Okay, so I'll tell you what, we'll jump on to then kind of like the big budget stuff. So we've mentioned Avengers Infinity War. Another one, big budget, Mission Impossible Fallout, is that what number 6
I think that's,
Yeah, Mission Impossible 6. I just really enjoyed it. Have you seen it yet?
No.
It just does what it does. They've just kind of distilled it to its purest.
I'm really getting to a point where if there's a franchise like Mission Impossible, I just don't want to know anymore after. It's like this. They may be very good, but I just switch off to them. Like the Die Hards, all the Predators and all that.
You see, I think the thing with Mission Impossible is there was some wilderness years where, like, Mission Impossible 1, I really enjoy it as a Brian De Palma film.
Yeah, good film, yeah.
But it's a Brian De Palma film. Like, as an overall big budget, it has issues. Number 2 is a John Woo film, and I'm a massive John Woo fan, but even I can't get on with it. So because it went kind of downhill, to see it come back, like 4, 5, and 6 have been so good. And 6, again, I think it's Christopher McQuarrie was the director, who also did Way of the Gun, Jack Reacher. You know, like I've enjoyed his films. For him to kind of come back and do this film, it's very like set piece led. It's kind of like how Jackie Chan makes films. He's like, right, I want to do a fight in a playground and then a fight with an umbrella, and let's go. Let's make it. Yeah. Clearly, Tom Cruise and Chris McQuarrie went, you know what? I'm going to jump out of a plane and then, you know, let's do a motorbike chase in Paris. And
mental things.
And clearly, it's, you know, like the suicidal Scientology impulses of Tom Cruise, but with like a multi-million pound budget.
Mission Impossible, Dianetics.
Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. So this is probably the most recent edition. So I saw this Christmas week. Animated film. Just does the Spider-Man story really well. It doesn't do the origin story, it just assumes, because we're now in a world where there have been like 3 reboots of Spider-Man, you know, big budget films in the last 15 years, it assumes you know all of that, and then it kind of goes, multiple universes crashing together. So you've got like Miles Morales, who's in the Ultimate Spider-Man, you've got Peter Parker, you've got Spider-Ham, which is the pig that turns into Spider-Man. It's in the comics. Yes. So but that's the kind of cool thing, like we were saying with Avengers Infinity War, because there have been like, you know, 20 years now of like, you know, superhero movies, why keep on remaking the origin story? Let's have fun with all these kind of characters. Nicolas Cage plays Spider-Man Noir, which is like a 1930s black and white Spider-Man who, you know, is basically like a gumshoe, hard-boiled comics kind of thing, so he's got 2 guns and stuff like that. Nick Cage is like his best role. It was fantastic. And if you think Mandy was his best role, fuck you, Mandy was disappointing. Okay, Disaster Artist, fantastic film, loved it. If you love movie making, it reminded me very much of Ed Wood, you know, like a guy who just probably shouldn't be making films, but just wanted to and managed to convince a bunch of people, and just a roller coaster ride.
Very, very, very mysterious man.
Yes.
And there's one particular person in my head who we both know who makes films, and I can see him doing the same thing if he had money, and that's brilliant.
The Endless, which is a film that we've reviewed previously on an episode, so just jump back to episode bloop, whatever that is, check that out. I want to say 41, maybe 40.
Oh, I have no idea.
Let the Corpses Tan, another one we've mentioned previously. So by the guys who did Amir and The Strange Colour of Your Body's Tears. A lot of people, if you don't like those films, you probably won't like Let the Corpses Tan, but what I will say is there's slightly more plot. Slightly more plot. And it kind of does what I wish Free Fire from Ben Wheatley did. It does like a shootout over 90 minutes, like a gun shootout over 90 minutes, but it does it interestingly, and it looks gorgeous, and the mechanics of it are like really well thought out. Await further instructions from Johnny Kevorkian. Really well done film. Starts as kind of like this tense thriller. I don't want to go into too much, but it's set at Christmas time, so Christmas film, there you go, for those people, you know, who need Christmas films. It's like a family reunited in Christmas, and then they go to bed Christmas Eve night, and they wake up in the middle of the night, and their house has been completely shuttered in. And on the TV, in like good old-fashioned green, like in BBC Micro writing, is await further instructions. Ooh. So it starts off as this, like, you know, kind of like confined space, tensions, Christmas can be stressful as it is. And then in the third act, I'm not going to say too much, but it goes fucking gonzo.
Is it?
Yeah, I'll just say it's like Tetsu Iron Man. It's like David Cronenberg body horror. Yeah. 2 films that are on Prime Video, which were also still released this year, was Lynn Ramsey's You Were Never Really Here. Again, going back to the pretentious kind of thing. Now, she did, I don't know if you've seen, We Need to Talk About Kevin. And You Were Never Really Here, same kind of thing. It follows like a hitman, played by Joaquin Phoenix.
Oh, that looks amazing.
Yeah.
What's that? Yeah. No, I've actually
yeah,
set that aside.
Check it out. Check it out. Very slow paced again. Like if you've seen We Need to Talk About Kevin, you know what you're getting. But the way the story unfolds and just the way it builds up, really well done, mate. Performance is fantastic. There's a couple of bits in there as well which are proper like gut punches. And it really looks like the character of, you know, what would it take for a person to actually become a hitman? What stuff has made them do that? And he's just like this ultra paranoid guy, and really? Which, I mean, in that business, Tumbad. Indian horror film. Beautifully shot, amazingly shot. But the reason I loved it was it's got like a whole new mythology, like, or, well, at least to Western audiences, right, about like this monster and like, all this kind of stuff that happens. But the way it tells the story is you don't even get to know that there's a monster involved. You know there's some supernatural shit going on in the first half, but it's not until about an hour in that you get an idea of what the mythology is, and it's very simply told. Like, it starts like at the turn of the century, and it follows these kids in India. So that was the films. A couple other bits I just wanted to say that I really enjoyed in 2018. But podcasts, really been doing the podcasts again, mate. Strong language and violent scenes, epic, great stuff. The Arrow Video guys. Some guys called the Lad Chat Podcast. They put out some good episodes.
Sometimes.
No, I've enjoyed like a lot of it, and this is obviously for me. It's a bit weird because I know all the guys, separately. So a lot of their stuff is kind of like, oh, okay, I kind of heard that already, but it's still a really entertaining show. I got back into Movie Crypt. You ever listen to Movie Crypt?
No.
Adam Green and Joe Lynch, so horror directors themselves, doing that. Absolutely great. Shockwaves, and it's kind of my go-to for like horror news. So it's a weekly episode. Really good. I'm sure if you're horror fans already, you're well ahead of me on that one. Going back to Thor Ragnarok, there's a Thor Ragnarok prestige podcast called Thor Ragnar-Talk. It's fantastic, mate. It's great. They chop up the film into 10 minutes, 10-minute chunks, and then for like an hour they'll talk about just those 10 minutes.
Wow.
Hilarious, really good stuff. Check it out, Thor Ragnar-Talk. And the other thing that I've really enjoyed in 2018 is the Fractured Visions film nights. So to have something that's like a monthly event in Cardiff is a godsend for us, because although there's a lot of filmmaking stuff, people putting on stuff regularly, for film fans, has kind of fallen by the wayside in Cardiff, unfortunately.
Yeah.
When I first moved down here, we had stuff like Sunday Cinema, which was back in the old Buffalo Bar. They used to rent a screen and then show like all these public domain trashy films. Fractured Vision is Phil using whatever contacts he has to bring some of the coolest films, to South Wales. We've had some great ones with Q&As. In addition to Little Monster, obviously, which was the apex.
Yes.
They had The Lighthouse. We had the screening of that. We had Canaries. So God bless Phil. He's putting this all together. He's bringing people in. He's put on his own 2-day film festival, and there will be a Fractured Visions Film Festival 2019. So cheers, Phil. And it's just a great thing, to kind of see and do. I think they had a little break in December. God bless them. I think after the Little Monster Q&A.
Blame us for that.
Phil had like a month-long hangover.
But it is a lot of hard work that goes into these screenings and festivals. Yeah. So rightly so have a break, Phil. Rightly so.
You've arranged it. From what I understand, he's bringing back a festival favourite, One Cut of the Dead. So I think it's like a Japanese zombie film, which has made a lot of people's best of lists of 2018. That's the screening in January. So that was 2018. We survived, Jim.
2019. What's coming, Jimbo?
Well,
what would you like to know?
We've got things on the boil. We have an untitled project that we're developing currently. We might be teaming up with a longtime friend of ours to bring together, I think we can say it's a slasher-esque film as well, which we're looking forward to. Jim has got to sort out a script for something that we've mentioned previously, Die Hard. We hope to be shooting that this year as well, and we'll give you updates as we go. Ooh,
so many pages!
Good stuff. So Jim, when can I have a look at that? When will that be ready for me to have a read?
When do we see? You can read it now if you want. We're quite finished.
Next week? You get
script writing, man. It's a fucking journey, dude. It's
Is it a journey that I can join next week?
It's a journey, yeah, hopefully next week.
Alright, you guys, well, I hope you guys have had a good 2018. And join us for 2019 when we fuck shit up!